client start with a name and address file of their customers, and perhaps their prospects or people who've made themselves known to them as leads, by mapping, if you like, by matching their postcodes to the SONAR directory, then all these attributes that you've distilled for the whole country can be matched to their data.
Yes.
And how does that help the customer?
Well, first of all, I'd like to make a bit of an observation about areas, because areas actually are often very stable in their characteristics. So people who've lived in an area, in one particular area, that's often, say, an affluent area, for example, it often remains an affluent area. So if you think back to the Monopoly game, which came out in this country in the 30s, we have Mayfair and Park Lane at one end of the distribution, affluent areas. And if you think about Mayfair and Park Lane today, you'd probably think that they're still up there as affluent areas. At the other end of the scale, as you well know, we've got the Old Kent Road, and well, if you've been down the Old Kent Road, you probably wouldn't want to change its ranking too much. The important point, though, is areas are often stable. Yeah. That's not to say they're unchanging, because new areas come about, you know, like Docklands, for example. That didn't exist in the 1930s, and therefore it isn't on the Monopoly board, but you know, that's a new area with new characteristics. But by and large, there is a surprising degree of stability. So you can use this fact to help predict who your customers are. If you overlay the SONAR code onto a postcoded file of whatever your customers are, they could be customers, they could be lapsed customers, they could be prospects, they could be people who bought a particular product, or they could be high value customers or recent customers. They can be more or less anything. You can overlay SONAR onto those and then count the occurrence of the number of people in the different SONAR codes. We know, for example, that, say, SONAR code 123, for example, has, say, 2% of the population within it. And if we find that your file contains 5 or 6% of the people on your file in that group, you know that there are more people in that code than you'd expect by chance.